What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? Another day, another dev update. What's happening, everybody? Jordan Ford, what's up with you? I'm doing good. Stina Fina, Tangible Mammal. Jordan, what's up, Jordan? How you doing, brother? Bobby Brooks, Nick, got the usual suspects. Oh, nice. Coach Nick, what's happening? What's up, Chris? Galdana? Everybody filing in. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to file in. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. I'm doing good. Today's dev update was probably, in my opinion, the most potent one because it kind of ties in with a theory about one of my early theories about how they're gonna kind of steer things for Rebirth and what they said. So what they said today was, players can enjoy Rebirth without even playing Remake, and a lot of people started scratching their heads. But they've kind of said that before. This is not new news, right? They have said that the goal with Rebirth is to let people pick up the game and play it that don't know much about, like didn't play the first one or whatever. So, staying lobster all week. I just ate. I hadn't eaten all day. I'm like, oh my god, I was so hungry. So I had to smash some food before I came on. But like, if you think about what's going on in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they're fresh out of the singularity, right? It's basically a new world they're in, but they don't know that. So, if you wanted to nerf the party, of course Yuffie's going to take their Materia. But if they wanted to descale their levels, it would kind of make sense. Like if they wanted to scale, if you start Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at like level 15 or something like that, it would kind of make sense a little bit because like the things in the new world might be stronger. Like this new reality that's been made by, F around and find out inside the singularity, freeing Sephiroth, all the things, the consequences and repercussions of that. It could make the things in the world stronger. And you could scale them down. Now, that just explains kind of like if they nerf your party. There's a way to explain nerfing the party. They're not just doing it, like if they do it. So now, from story perspective, players will need to know how we got here, right? They'll need to know how we got here. So there are a couple of different ways you can do it. If I were putting my storyteller hat on and just saying, okay, I want people to come into this game and not, if they didn't play it, I don't want them to be turned off from picking this game up, right? So, first off, a previously on Final Fantasy VII, you open with like a 5-6 minute sequence of the events of the last game, but rendered in the fidelity of Rebirth, because it's going to be a higher quality for graphics and everything in Rebirth. So that's one way to do it. And then boom, here we are, and like kind of like Supernatural when they do the season finales. If you've ever watched Supernatural, they say then, and it starts playing Kansas, and it's like showing everything happen. Then it just says now, and then boom, it puts you right into the story where they're at currently. They could do something like that. Or they story recap like Ragnarok did. Yeah, something like that. Hey, what's up, Lucas from Italy? How you doing, man? Appreciate you checking us out. So that's one way to do it. Another way would be to let the new gamer figure out what happened in the first game and again, you have to introduce the game a certain way to do this. But by putting bits and pieces of things together that people say, you run into Rufus Shinra, talk about that stuff. You run into Roche, talk about what happened in the last game. But it kind of acts like it's like, oh, so Remake is kind of the prequel to Rebirth. I can go back and play it and I can figure out what these people are talking about. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like Star Wars, A New Hope, right? You get what's going on in the universe, and by Return of the Jedi, you're like, or by Empire Strikes Back even, you're like, at the end of Empire Strikes Back, you go, man, a lot went down. But you know what's going on in the story currently, but you're like, man, a lot went down. You know, if they ever do those first 3 movies with young Anakin Skywalker, I'm going to watch that. And you go back and watch it, and you get filled in. So that's kind of a way to do it in a roundabout way. So treating Remake as kind of a prequel. Now, my opinion, I don't necessarily like that. Like, reward everyone who played Remake, right? Those of us who put, with various playthroughs and whatnot, over 100 hours into that game. Pumped over 100 hours into that game. Shit, I think I pumped over 120 hours into that game. But, regardless, you know, I think that's kind of what they mean with this update. And I am pretty excited about it. Because, to me, it's them telling us, okay, there's going to be a reset. Because I had wondered for a while, a lot of you too, we all kind of wondered the same thing. How is data carryover going to happen? How bad are they going to scale our levels back? I have thought from the beginning when I finished the game, and a lot of you all have heard me say this too. We will not keep this materia in Rebirth. It's either just not going to be there, or Yuffie's going to steal it in the beginning of the game before you even have a battle. Like, it's just, you're not going to access this materia you spent this time mastering in this game. You're just not going to have it anymore. And it makes sense because if things are more powerful in the new Gaia, Neo Gaia, whatever you want to call it, if things are more powerful in this new Gaia that has been born of them tampering in the singularity, then the materia is probably more powerful and hopefully harder to master. Now, hopefully, there will be carryover between Rebirth and Refund. Rebirth and the third game. But so we'll see. So anyway, that's my take on it to begin with. That's my opening take on it. Do with that what you all will. I'm going to try to read some of your questions and answer some of these real quick. Oh, Jordan, my pleasure. I love. Oh man, I scratched my neck real bad earlier today. I got like a mark there. It just got scratched on a piece of wood. Anyway, yeah, my pleasure. I'm so happy to be hanging out with you all and chilling, and this is a perfect end of my night. I work hard every single day, and this is a perfect end of my night to come out here and talk to you all. So I love it. Let's see. What's up, Chris Dillon? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? After the recap, do you think the game starts off with Cloud and Calm telling the... Everybody wants to get right to the Calm flashback story, and I do too. And I really do too. But I really want to have something trigger that, right? Like, there needs to be some conversation between the characters. There needs to be some, you know, Barrett stopping Cloud and being like, all right, look, we need to have a talk. We need to have a serious talk. What is going on with you? There needs to be some drama in the party, right? Before we get... Now, the Calm story, since they're going to Calm, I think it needs to happen within the first hour of the game. But it doesn't need to happen right from the jump. You see what I'm saying? I want to see some tension build up to it. And then Cloud be like, okay, I've got to tell him. Or he's got to at least tell him what he thinks he knows. You know what I mean? So I think Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm okay. Just a weird thing, board slip thing that happened. I'm good, Sean. Thanks for being here again tonight. Do I think Square would have a bundle deal for Remake and Rebirth? Maybe. I haven't really thought too much about that. But I do think there's going to be a compilation collection when it's all over. You know, Square Enix isn't going to miss the opportunity to make a big box set with some dope-ass statue. Dude, Savior Sephiroth. Like, final Savior Sephiroth, after all 3 games are out, a big box set with all 3 games, like, you know, do it up. But as far as, like, I don't really feel like there's much need for it with just 2, because people know the 3rd one's coming. I would save that. That's a good idea, but I would save that until after the 3rd game is confirmed. That's what I would do. Good question. At what point does Yuffie come in? Yuffie's going to come in right from the jump. I think Yuffie's going to jump them when they leave Calm. You know, because you want to get that Materia. You want to get that Materia excuse out of the way first. You know, so because once you get to Calm, that's going to be like it. They could make it to where you could have some battles as you leave Calm. You could have some battles before you get to Calm, either way, but they could treat it like a tutorial situation. This is how this works now, and you can't access your Materia. Or there's powerful generic Materia in those slots, and you just can't access that thing on the menu yet. And then, after a few of those tutorial, this is what's up battles, then Yuffie swoops in and steals all your shit. So that's how I would handle it. I think that's what they're going to do with it. Just my opinion, though. I feel like the best thing to do is start the game in the truck with Sephiroth and Cloud, play through that memory as the tutorial, then cut to the Calm end. That would work, but I really want it to make sense from the party's standpoint, right? I really want to feel the drama of all the characters, Tifa included, because Tifa's just like, what is going on? This dude is off the rails. This is not at all the dude I remember. You know, I want to feel that drama before we get to the story, because that's what's going to kick the game off. You know, I mean, there's going to be so much meat in this thing. Like, it's going to be a big, beefy gaming experience, and I'm really excited. I wonder how Hellenic Hojo is going to turn out. 3-stage boss fight. 3-stage boss fight for Hellenic Hojo. Absolutely. MO, that's a great theory. She sneaks in, like she's been following them, and she sneaks in when they're sleeping to steal their stuff. That'd be great. That would be a fantastic way to handle that. I wonder if Cloud's memories are even more messed up from the singularity when... Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to be messed up. You know what I mean, Bobby? Like, when they come out, they're not going to know this world. Like, they're going to know the world. Like, you know, the thing I'm really stoked about is they're going to get to places that are different than they're supposed to be. Like, they're going to get to, like, a town just off the top of my head, you know. Or Fort Condor. They're going to get to Fort Condor. And it's going to be the Freedom Fighters are there, just like Final Fantasy VII Original. And maybe that's why they changed that. Right? Oh! 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 I just thought of this while we were sitting here. Because they made a point to say, oh, this game is based, like in Intermission, this game is based on the Battle of Fort Condor that happened once upon a time, or whatever is paraphrased. What if, you know, you get to Fort Condor and it's just like an OG Final Fantasy VII? And then they're like, whoa, 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 wait. This happened. This is not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? That's one of many things. One of many things that could be in the works. That would be wild. What's up, Vicky? How you doing? Somali, how's it going? You're here again, brother. Rehan Khan, my man. My dude. My ride or die. How you doing? But yeah, I mean, so many things are going to change from the world that they think they know. And that's going to really throw a spin on Aerith, because Aerith knows from the Aerith that is the essence of Aerith, the soul of Aerith that is in the live stream from the previous time loops. A previous time loop. Maybe there was just one before. We don't know. One, several, we don't know. But one of the spirits of the Aerith from a previous time loop, or her essence from the live stream, has communicated with her. And I fully believe that's the Aerith that communicates with Cloud in the garden in Remake. Anyway, no one's going to know what's happening. And that's why Sephiroth wanted to remake reality. Final Fantasy VII Remake. So that anybody who's talking about anything, communicating with people and everything, boom, nobody knows nothing now. Nobody knows jack. So here we go, Sephiroth trying to make it happen. Yeah, Zach Fair is absolutely alive. He's absolutely alive. Faux show. Faux show. And that's another thing is like, you know, that also kind of explains the differences in the church and all that kind of stuff at Aerith's church and like certain things being different or looking different. It's a different reality now. It's just we as the player with the party aren't aware of that thing yet. But they will become aware of Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's the rebirth of everything. A rebirth of the world, Gaia, all that stuff, man. Like, it's such a cool possibility. I really hope they just nail it. I really hope they just nail the execution. And I'm really encouraged by Hamaguchi being on board because it's a fresh perspective, you know? It's like, yeah, we let Nomura direct and start this thing, but now it's a fresh perspective with Hamaguchi. It seems like he really cares about Final Fantasy VII. He really cares about the story. Everything I've read with the guy, he is a fan. He's like us. He's like a fan of Final Fantasy VII who gets to direct Rebirth. And if Rebirth is great, I hope he gets to direct the third installment as well. So, in a fresh perspective of a fan getting to work on it, I think we're in for something truly scrumptious when it comes to Rebirth. Right? Another theory is the daily messages that are posting. The green bold is to be addressed in the next... Yeah. I've heard that. I've seen that. I think that's definitely something to that for sure. Good call, by the way, Chris. That was... I've seen people talking about that, and I think that's absolutely something to look for. I think what that is like they're saying, hey, next time we drop a trailer, whenever that is, be looking for this thing. Be looking for these things that we're talking about now. You know what I mean? That's smart of them to do. Hope Remake is put on Switch too. Yeah, I don't know. Zach Fair has no knowledge on anything, and this Rebirth has a strong possibility, even though it stick with the OG story for Cloud's backstory, telling that is false. Yeah, well, Cloud's backstory, him telling the backstory was false anyway, because it was Zach. Now, I believe that everything that happened before Zack survives the soldier attack happened. Like Nibelheim and all that absolutely happened. I think that's the point in time, like where the change happens. That's the point in existence that changes. And that's why it sends a ripple throughout existence, time and space and everything. All of existence has changed because of that one change that the planet made, or that Sephiroth engineered. We don't know yet. I think the planet did that, but it could have been Sephiroth engineering that. could have been. And that makes Sephiroth even more potent. Like, he pulled all those strings. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. That'd be crazy. He'd be like the Sosuke Aizen. He's not just a powerful dude with hellacious DNA. He's like actually showing his smarts and his cunning and his strategics. The strategery. His strategery. I think Nomura is basically just like a sounding board for the project at this point. He's involved, but not as involved as he was in Remake. Well, here's the thing. I think what's going to happen with Gungaga is, you know, you're going to run into Zack's parents. And it's going to be like, oh yeah, we just heard from, yeah, he called us, he's in Midgar. Or he called us, yeah, he's in Calm. And Aerith's going to be like, wait, what? What? Are you sure about that? You're sure about that, you know? I think it's going to be something along those lines. Because I don't want to see Zack form up with everybody until very, very late in the game. We hear about Zack, we see some scenes with Zack, whatever, but I don't want to see him cross paths with the party until very, very late in the game. And something else that people aren't really thinking about, like, everybody thinks there's a second Cloud running around or whatever. That might not be the case. You have to remember, if reality changed, then he is... That could just be the Cloud we've been running around as, if everything's changed. Now, the Buster Sword thing, I've put a couple theories out on that. I don't want to get too much into that right now because I don't want to dominate the conversation. But there's a way you can do it. There's a way you can do it. The biggest thing is, anything inside of the Singularity is unchanged, right? So Cloud's Buster Sword didn't just bamf away, right? Like anything item-wise within the Singularity is untouched by the changes that are happening outside of the Singularity. So when Cloud comes out of the Singularity, all the changes have been established, and he's still got his Buster Sword. I think that's the easiest way to explain it, without doing the Charlie Day conspiracy board, you know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Nine? How you doing, brother? What if Zack sacrificed himself to save Aerith this time around? That's possible. It's one of many theories. I tend to go dark with some of this stuff, but I won't. If you've never seen my theory video on that, I'll just let you watch it first at some point, and then flame me in the comments like other people did. They're like, how could you? This is a terrible, how would you even think this, God? You're terrible for putting this in my brain. I'm like, how do I think this? Hey, what's up, Skynet? Skyset. I thought they said Skynet. I was like, get out of my chat. AI's everywhere. How do you think the second game will end? I just can't see them doing the exact same thing again. No. I think, and I've done theory videos on this, I've got a theory called Reunion Cloud. Like, the Reunion Cloud is Cloud who just loses his mind. Like the Cloud that starts punching on Aerith. You know what I mean? Snapping. Sephiroth, Genova, whatever you want to say, taking control of him. Cloud being the final boss fight of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Reunion Cloud. And in my mind, that's right before that is when Zack should join up with your party. And that will be the thing that smashes Cloud's mind into 1,000 pieces. Making him so much easier to control. Making it so that Sephiroth can finally get his claws into him. You know? Can you imagine like a version of Cloud's music like the da 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 da, you know, the overworld theme, but like sped up to like a 120 beat with like some heavy metal and some double kick guitars, and those chosen by the planet, Sephiroth's music, playing underneath of it as you're like fighting a screaming, roaring Cloud who's trying to cut through your party, who's just like, and he'll just stop at points and just like grab his head and then pick his sword back up and come after you. I mean, that would be the shit of legend. Legend! You know what I mean? And the whole time, you can see Sephiroth's body encased in ice in the background with the black materia hovering in front of it because Cloud just gave it to him. You know what I mean? Then loses his mind. Then everything goes to shit. Like Shinra bounces with your party. Who knows what's going on with Zack? You know, maybe he helps the other people besides Barret and Tifa get away, because only Barret and Tifa are captured by Shinra, you know? So there's got to be a reason why those are the only two that get captured or whatever. But, you know, weapons are awakening everywhere, meteors summon in the sky, you know, Sephiroth is winning. It's Empire Strikes Back, and Cloud's thought to be dead. He's in the planet, he's in the live stream. It's Empire Strikes Back, man. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it just like that. Cyclical time loops, man. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I just want to hear that music. I just want to hear that music I've got in my head right now. Yeah, it's like Jenova's kind of ambiguous, but I think it's that way for a reason, right? I've said many times, you know, Sephiroth is Mario, Jenova's the mushroom. That's really all you need to know, you know? I think, if anything, Jenova was a parasitic organism that's a shape-shifting being that has the ability to inhabit other hosts. I've always kind of felt like, and I've also always kind of felt like that silver-haired woman version of her, that's not her. I've always felt like that was a Cetra that she took over. I always felt like that was an ancient that she took over. And just, you know, whenever she takes over a being, like their hair turns silver and they get pale and everything, you know. That's just always what I've thought. It could be totally wrong. It might be totally off base, but that's just always what I've thought, you know. Just being a big fan of sci-fi and horror. Because every time you see Jenova, when she spawns or whatever, it's always some big amorphous blob monster thing with bones sticking out and shit, you know? So, 9 is a backstage pass. What's up, new channel member 9? Give me some, baby. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. If you think Vincent is already awake, at what point do you think do you think he is awake? Okay, so things are different in Rebirth, honestly, obviously, you know. So I think what you do is just have Vincent watching the party, you know. I think there's going to be something different about Vincent in Rebirth. Because he wasn't a throwaway character in Remake, but he was a last-second add, right? He was an optional character, and you didn't need him. But I think with them knowing the character's popularity, he's going to have a bigger role. And plus, we know he has something to do with chaos and all that kind of stuff. Look at you gifting memberships over here, man. Hey, everybody shout out 9. Shout out to 9. Gifting these memberships. Hooking it up for people. Hey, thank you, 9. I appreciate it. You, my friend, are also an excellent content creator. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate everything you do, my friend. Galdana. Galdana is a receiving the gift of membership. Yeah, Jenova's better mysterious. Make it, because it's about Sephiroth, you know. And no, before anybody asks, somebody asks me every night in the chat, no, I don't think Sephiroth should be redeemed. Should not be redeemed. No. No, sir. No cookie for you, Sephiroth. You get a Buster Sword through the chest. And a upward swipe. Filleted. You get filleted. yeah, like there's so many moving parts to everything now. It's like, we could spend hours just talking about one aspect of like 12 different aspects of what's going on, and it would be hours well spent. But it would also mean we'd be here till about 5 in the morning just talking about it. All the locations are going to look amazing, man. Like I was just saying last night, I'm hopeful that we get new towns, even if they're small, new little blips and blops on the map, And it'll be interesting to see how they do navigation with the high wind. The high wind is going to be dope, like walking around on the high wind. I think there's going to be different stuff you can do, different ways to communicate with different stuff in the world, like a communications room or something would be cool, Somebody running like a switchboard on the high wind. Like, okay, we're getting a request to take care of this thing, and that's how you get your side missions and all that. I mean, it's like, you could have like a little bar on the high wind. You could have other characters besides yourself traveling back and forth to places on the high wind. Numerous possibilities, man. Numerous possibilities. And of course, Tifa would be the bartender. That would give her something to do on the high wind, No, Forspoken Team, I don't believe, has anything to do with, any of the Final Fantasy games, I don't think. Wasn't that like a different team? Wasn't that one of the studios that got sold off? Was Forspoken Crystal Dynamics? It wasn't, was it? There are better brains than me that handle the business side of things. Nine, you're in the chat. Who made, I know you know, who made, which studio within Square Enix made Forspoken? Yeah, catching chocobos is going to be dope. I think you'll have to probably weaken them and then maybe catch them or something like that. Elena's going to be cool. I've always thought Elena should look like Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z. They kind of do the same, put their hair behind their ear motion to the... Oh, Mr. G, I thought that said with. You said, I can't wait to breed chocobos. That makes more sense. I'm glad I stopped to read that a second time. Wasn't luminous. Okay, yeah. So, well, I knew it wasn't luminous. That's why I was like, was it Crystal Dynamics? I can't remember. So, it was luminous. Oh, so you're saying? Oh wait. All right, I'm confused now. Because I'm so confused. But yeah, so like I'm really curious as to what Tuesday's gonna bring. They drop these things. What do they drop, like 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? I'm really curious as to what this is gonna be now. Like, I'm excited for Summer Games Fest. I'm gonna stream some of it, but I won't be streaming all day. And if anything big drops, tell you what, if anything big drops for Summer Games Fest, I won't watch it. I'll hear about it. I'll see it on Twitter and stuff, but I won't watch it until I can come on about 10 o'clock Tuesday or Thursday night. 10 o'clock that night, and I'll watch it with all of you all. You all will have already seen all that stuff, but I won't, because we did my son's birthday party last weekend, but his actual birthday is Thursday. So we're going to do a small little family thing for him on Thursday. We're going to do that. And then when he goes to bed Thursday night, then I'll come on and I'll watch and react to all the stuff live on stream with you all. How's that sound? But I know a lot of y'all are going to DM me when stuff is happening, Tippy Power, he DMs me about 3 or 4 times a day with like insider stuff, and I'm just like, it's really cool of him to do, but some of the stuff I'm like, I don't know what that is, dude. And I'll tell him, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. What am I looking at? What am I looking at right now, dude? 9 a.m. Okay, yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. Okay. wonder how the ancient forest will be done. Crazy. It'll be done crazy. Turks will be having new design. That would be cool. Wait, no. No, they won't. Because remember, post Singularity, post Reality Fusion, we see Rufus and the Shinra executives in the office, and they're all the same, which is why I've said I think there was a separate smaller Singularity when all the Whispers were circling around the Shinra building. I think that was the Singularity right there. I don't know why. Maybe it's got something to do with Hojo. Maybe it's got something to do with Genova remains or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's got something to do with Infalna's remains. Because Aerith opened the Singularity. What if it's got something weird to do with Infalna's remains? I don't know. But anyway, I think there was a separate Singularity around the Shinra building. And we see Sung, and he looks just like he did pre-Singularity. So, sorry if I'm like really getting off the rails there, but that's how my brain puts things together sometimes. But yeah, that's how there were all those Whispers circling around the Shinra building, and only Rufus could see them. So I think that was a separate Singularity. So when Rufus and Cloud and everybody bumps into each other, Cloud and them are going to be like, what's going on, And then Rufus will be like, well, I was going to ask you the same thing. I have no idea what the hell's going on, But it's pretty fun. It's a pretty wild ride. I'm still the president of Shinra. We're still making that money. The other Turks, maybe is. But I think we should definitely see Cisne because Zack's going to be alive, right? Zack's going to be alive. Sung and Cisne sent for, and that's something else. If Sung wasn't changed, he's going to know Zack died. He's going to know Zack should be dead. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of little interesting moving parts. Side missions be very Horizon. See, I don't know about that because they have been on record as saying, I think it was Hamaguchi was on record as saying, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, that they were very inspired by the world of Horizon. Now, I took that as to say traversal, the variety of the different maps, the scale, the scope of the different maps, and like things being visible on the horizon, no pun intended. You know what I mean? But it could also mean we love how this game plays. We want to mimic everything in this game. It could mean that too. Do we get a Cisne cameo? She is MIA. Yeah, I think we do. I think we do get a Cisne cameo. I know all those Cisne simps out there, everybody always bags me because I'm like, Cisne is a C- character. She's not important. And she's not. But if Zack's alive, she becomes way more important. If Zack's alive, she becomes way more important. So she will become way more important because Zack is alive. Bonus content. I want side missions to be deep too, but I don't necessarily want it to be Witcher deep. Like everything is a 6 to 8 hour side mission extravaganza. Like some of the side missions should be long, should you choose to accept and go into them. Did Hojo use up Infalna's remains? I didn't know if they were maybe still in like formaldehyde jars or something. That's just me spitballing an idea. It's a throwaway thought. But look at 9 gifting another membership. What's up, man? Look, my boy 9 getting Chris Smith a membership. Hey, that's great. That's great that he got you all some memberships because I've got some exclusive content going live to YouTube members and Patreon members starting Thursday or Friday. It's going to be Friday. So anyway, that's going to be happening. But yeah, some of the side missions need to be deep. Like, you all know, I believe wholeheartedly Genesis is going to be in this game. How much he has to do with the main plot, I don't know. But we can get those answers without him being in the main storyline if we get a deep series of side quests if you choose to accept them, Mission Impossible style, you can get that content. You know what I mean? So, and it gives you further understanding and could change. Oh man, yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope. If you finish like a string of side quests that have one thing to do with the other, then it affects how the outcome of the game. That would be awesome. That might be asking too much. That might be asking too much. Let me keep it real with you. But if my fantasy booking of this thing, that would be up there at the top of the list. Yeah, for sure. Because if Cicene was out in the world and not in the Shinra building when the collapse happened, then she would be changed along with the world. And here's the other thing too. Like we might see Cicene running out to stop Zack before he goes into Midgard. It's like, you don't want to go in there. They're looking for you. Come on, come with me. You know what I mean? It could totally happen. Because remember, Sung sent Cicene to save Zack and Cloud at the end of Crisis Core. She was just a little too late to save Zack. But now, it's a different world now. It's a different world than where you come from now. So, anyway, deep cut there for those who know. Anyway, yeah, everybody thank 9. Ray Max Dude had a great idea for a side quest. KOTOR would require you to go around to beat each optional boss and collect them all. Gives you, dude, that's kind of like, that was my original theory for Knights of the Round. KOTOR, Knights of the, I thought you meant Knights of the Old Republic. KOTOR. Did I read that right? Maybe I read it wrong. No, I read it right. My original theory was kind of like the King's Shrines of Final Fantasy 15. Like you go around to different tombs, and then you collect the essence from the different tombs. And when you get to Arthur's, the end, and that would be the island tunnel that you get to toward the end of the game or whatever, you get the final bit of materia, and you put it together, and you get Knights of the Round. That was always my theory. It's 13, right? It's 13 summons, Knights of the Round. Do you think the gameplay will be more dynamic than Remake, or will be a more refined Remake battle? Look, I think it's going to be way more dynamic because you've got a... We saw how different it was with just Yuffie, right? In Intermission. Now you got Sid, who's a polearms user, who's going to operate completely differently, and Vincent Valentine, who's going to be mind-blowing acid trip battle play. So, I mean... And like I said last night, he needs to handle just like Dante in DMC5. I'm not even playing. Shifting into Devil Trigger, using the guns. He doesn't have a big sword, but maybe his hand can turn into like a big scythe or something. Like a big, nasty, T-virus mutated blade thing. That would be kick-ass, man. Sky is the limit for Vincent Valentine. You're only bound by your imagination. You're only bound by your imagination when it comes to what you can do with that guy. So I think, for one, they fixed the air combat and the camera when it came to Intermission, but there were still quirks with it, and they can refine that a little more. You can do way more with Tifa's speed. Let's see. I hope they do more with Barret. Find a way to make playing as Barret more dynamic, I loved playing as him for the long range stuff, but that was about it. He could take a beating and he was a good long range guy. That was about it. So, puppy dog, yo, Ray, let's rock, brother. Hey, let's rock indeed. That's why we're here. Let us rock. I want to rock. You think Genesis will be tied to the weapons? Both represent the planet Lifestream Minerva. Yeah, we talked a bit about that last night. I'm not sure how much Minerva is a real thing in the world of Final Fantasy VII. I know she was a super boss, but the thing I posed last night, theory-wise, when you talk to people who've had out-of-body, near-death experiences and their vision of heaven or whatever, I think that's kind of how they wrote Jenova when he touched the live stream. Because I think he did momentarily die when he fought Zack at the end. And he touched the live stream and he was sent back by the planet. I think what he was shown in his mind was what he thought the goddess of Loveless was, which in the game is Minerva or whatever, but I think it's going to be, I think it's supposed to be more of an ambiguous thing. I don't think Minerva, and I could be wrong about this, which I probably am, but maybe she's going to be a big part of it. But that's my feelings on it, is that she's just kind of this ambiguous vision of Genesis, and they just threw the character model in there as a optional super boss for Crisis Core. But, you know, the really cool part's going to be actually finding out. We're all right until we're not. You know what I mean? Like, all these theories are awesome, and it'll be great to see all the chips on the table when it's all said and done, to finally find out what the answers are. But that's good stuff right there. Yeah, exactly. You've got ex-Capcom dev making the it's not the Rebirth system, it's the Final Fantasy 16 battle system, right? But they're probably they all work together, you know. I think it's funny when people pit the different, you know, development teams and Square Enix against each other. Square Enix doesn't do that. They're all like pumping each other up and being good comrades and stuff. They call each other out, but that's how, you know, that's how it is sometimes. You want people to be better. I'm not gonna, like, when Yoshi P talked about the Final Fantasy 15 story and how kind of convoluted it was or whatever, which I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't the best Final Fantasy. But I didn't look at that as like him attacking them or saying, hey, my game is so much better, and swinging his balls around. Nah, I took that as like, you know, he's trying to challenge those people for their next project. Like, you know, hey, I know you can do better. Let us all see what you can do on your next project. That's how I read that. Handle Vincent's limit breaks, straight up morph, man, straight up powerhouse. Like, I think when he turns into his limit breaks or whatever, I think it should be almost like a super every time. And like, if you're playing as him, like, you know, updated stats, change movesets. Don't make him a berserker. Don't make him to where you can't control him. But I think it should be something like stupid. Hellmasker, man, keep the chainsaw and go to town on some people, man. That's what I'm talking about. Jump button would be nice, yeah. Yeah, Galdana, I completely agree. Limit breaks is, you don't get them often. Certainly not as often as you got them in OG Final Fantasy VII, but they need to be devastating. Devastating. Like, I don't care who or what you're fighting. Those limit breaks need to be absolutely devastating. I agree with you on that. Rebirth's going to go pretty far. And I think you're going to have to catch a chocobo early on to get across the marshes to get into the Mithril Caves. Now, you won't get into breeding and all that kind of stuff, but I think Rebirth is going to cover a lot. I think it's going to cover more than what people think. I didn't know that, Puppy Duck. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out for sure. So, which letters is it? What enemies do you think will get the Hell House treatment? Oh, dude, sandworm. The sandworms on the beach. Those things were always huge, and you could just like one-shot them. You know, I always thought those should be terrifying, hellacious battles. And the red dragons that you randomly come across, like when you're looking for the carob nuts or whatever they are on those little chains of islands, they almost look like dinosaurs, but they're like a part dinosaur, part dragon, and they're always like up on their hind legs like this, and they're pretty big. I think that should get the Hell House treatment for sure. Oh yeah, the Midgar Zolom is going to be a boss for sure. For sure. Rebirth's going to be going nuts. Nuts, I tell you. It's going to be a mile a minute. It's going to be so fascinating to see what they do with everything. Knights of the Round is definitely going to be back. Yeah, absolutely. I heard Max Dude has a theory on it. I've had a theory on it for a long time. I think it was my it was my 1,000 subscribers special. It was my 1,000 subscribers special. I remember it now. My Knights of the Round theory. Y'all go check that out. It can't be done. Well, it can be done. Still, I thought before Remake came out, that's when I put that little bit out. I didn't realize it was only going to be Midgar when I made that video. So, the Triceratops tank, yeah, dude. And there's some really good bosses in the Ancient Forest of the Ancients. Like, there are some tough enemies in there that could definitely be like mini boss type characters. New summons would be great. I think you should complete Knights of the Round in the third game, but make it so that you can start. If it's going to be a multi-tiered thing, which I would hope it would be, because it needs to feel like a challenge getting all that. You know what I mean? I would love to see that. I'm doing well, Hassan. How you doing? Thank you for asking. What's up, Pete? Do you think Possessed Cloud will be the final boss after he hands over? Yeah, Ultimate Weapon. We were talking about that earlier, actually. You can check out my Reunion Cloud video for my full theory on that. I did that video a while ago, but I still feel like it holds up. Like, I feel like Reunion Cloud would be amazing. Just, I think about the music it would be. I think about, you know, like him screaming, going after people, and slamming his Buster Sword into the ground and grabbing his head, and then pulling the sword back out and going after people again, just screaming like an animal, you know. No, man. You talk about broken Cloud. And then if like Game 3 was called something like Final Fantasy VII Redemption, you know, it would directly be talking about Cloud, because Cloud is the main character of this game. So it would make sense that the title of the game would have something to do with Cloud, and Rebirth might have something to do with Cloud too. We don't know. I mean, I've got some inklings of an idea on how that could pertain to Cloud, but I'm going to save that until I've got like more better formed ideas. The boss in the safe at the end of the Shinra Mansion. Well, that's a boss fight anyway, Pete. Yeah, that's a boss fight anyway. It wouldn't need the Hell House treatment. That's Lost Number is a tough boss fight if you don't know how to fight it properly. Yeah, Reunion Cloud would be a beast. God, man, I really hope they do that. If they don't do that, I'm not going to be disappointed. But man, what a missed opportunity that would be, to leave the gamer on that note until 2026 or 2027 when the final game comes out. Man, you talk about people being on the edge of their seat and not being able to wait until the next game comes out. Dude, and this is going to be... Because here's the thing. The whole game leading up to that point is going to be everybody like questioning Cloud. Even the Rebirth teaser we got, Tifa taking him to task and questioning things that he's saying, and that's going to be going on the whole game. That's going to be going on the whole story. People being like, wait, that doesn't make sense with what you said. And wait, are you sure it went down that way? And now that reality has changed into like a new fused reality with the changes that were made while everybody was in the singularity, it's even going to mess with his head even more. So yeah, break Cloud down so that we finally get back the dorky, insecure guy in, you know, the third game who's all let's mosey and everything. I think that would be amazing. And what a character arc that would be. I appreciate that, Puppy Duck. Well, that's the other thing, Chris, is like we don't know. Like now that they're working on the game in its entirety, they're creating Gaia. They're completely mapping out and making Gaia, how it's going to work. It will be on PS5, of course. Everything's being laid out and made. It may be a very short wait until the third game once Rebirth comes out. Might be a very short wait indeed. I doubt that, Orly. It could be, but I doubt that. Do I think Cloud kills Aerith? No, not Cloud. Not Cloud. Not Cloud. No, no, no. No, no, no. They said it was more about Zack, so Rebirth could be about flashbacks, Zack dying, and what went through before he resurrected. Well, Zack didn't die now. Zack didn't die now. Like, he survived. The Whispers interfered with the soldiers to make sure that... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait an effing minute. Hold up. Time out. Hang on. Let me get my thoughts together here real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get my thoughts together real quick, and I'll be right back. Give me just a second, everybody. I'll be right back. I got... Something just broke my brain for a second. Hang on. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so I had to get a quick drink. I was like, okay, so do you all remember at the end of Remake, before everybody goes into the Singularity, do I have it here? I think I had... Here, let me look. I think I've got the video. Let me see real quick. Give me just a moment. Because I want to pull some stuff up here real quick. Oh, well, I'll just go ahead and explain it. My theory is that Zack will inadvertently or directly have something to do with Aerith dying. Whether he does it himself or it's some offshoot of what he did. But I've been saying Zack is the planet's ace in the hole, right? Here's another thing for you. Sephiroth saved Zack. Because you remember when that was going down with the soldiers and Aerith sees the vision and she looks up and she looks at Sephiroth, and Sephiroth gives her like a he gives her like a, hey girl. He gives her kind of a look. I don't think they do that. The developers, I don't think they do that to make Sephiroth look clueless. I think they do that because at that point Sephiroth had control somewhat of the Whispers, like that version of Sephiroth we see, the all-knowing, omnipotent Sephiroth, that version of him. He has control of the Whispers. What if he controlled the Shinra soldiers to mess with them, or the Whispers to mess with the Shinra soldiers to save Zack, to cause that ripple effect of him surviving while they're all in the singularity and him knowing this is going to happen. If he saves Zack, when they come out the other side, everything's different. He has remade the timeline. Remake is Sephiroth's plot. That's his plan. To do that, he saves Zack. Yo, and it's all in that look he gives Aerith. Like, there's so many little subtle things in Remake that are all about the looks each other give each other. All the unspoken things between the characters. Like, okay, either the planet saved Zack or Sephiroth saved Zack. And all the soldiers, all the soldier first class guys, they're all addicted to something. Like, they're all obsessed with something. That's a side effect of being soldier. You know, Genesis was obsessed with Loveless. Angeal, I don't know what you'd call Angeal, but Zack was obsessed with being a hero. So that obsession is seen in Zack. He just dies before anything happens to him. Like, he's not infallible. Which I loved about Zack up to that point, that he was like the perfect hero that everybody in the story actually wanted to be. Genesis wanted to be Zack, and when he realized he could not be Zack, that's when he surrendered himself at the end of the game. That's when the planet was like, okay, you're ready. You understand. You've been humbled. You understand. You're ready to be my warden. Go back. You know? So Genesis was chosen by the planet. And again, those chosen by the planet, that's a Sephiroth thing, right? So, and that can directly correlate like the friendship slash competitiveness between Genesis and Sephiroth. Genesis and Sephiroth are completely obsessed with beating one another, you know, and that's why the Junon scene is so potent. But anyway, getting back on track, Sephiroth saves Zack to create the remake while they're all inside of the singularity, because he knew they would come in to get him. He knew they would come in after him. He knew that Aerith knew that something was different, because he knows Aerith knows things she shouldn't know. And he knew that Cloud would come after him, because Cloud's obsessed with Sephiroth. Because of Sephiroth being in his mind. Boom! Yeah, that's what it was with Angeal. He was obsessed with honor. His honor. His honor was everything to him. Zack was obsessed with being a hero. Genesis was obsessed with Loveless. And Sephiroth's obsessed with his mommy. That's it. That's it, man. There it is. I full-heartedly feel like if the planet didn't save Zack, Sephiroth did. And remade the world while they were in the singularity. Not time travel, not multiple timelines, none of that nonsense, none of that MCU nonsense, which I like the MCU. I don't mean it that way, but yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remake everything. So I got a fighting chance to destroy the world and use it as my vessel to travel the cosmos this time. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Zack and Genesis rematch and Rebirth? Fuck yes, man. That's what I'm talking about. But I think Genesis is going to be changed. Like, the thing I love about Genesis that they didn't really write into the character, but you get it from the results, is like toward the end, when Genesis realizes that Zack is the hero that he always thought he was, he starts yelling at Zack, "Show me your honor as a soldier." He's basically like, show me what I'm supposed to know. Show me what I thought I was. Show me. You know what I mean? And then Zack whips his ass. And then he's humbled, and he goes back, he dies, and the planet's like, no, now you get it. You get it now. You're supposed to be amazing. Now go back. I got plans for you. Now that you get it, I've got plans for you. And that's why Genesis is mulling that over. He's not unconscious. He's not comatose. He's kind of like in this weird flux mentally, but he's conscious at the end of Crisis Core. He's just like, he's stymied. He's completely stymied. So that's why I'm excited for what Genesis could be in Rebirth. Well, see, that's not relevant now, because this is way before he would have woken up at the end of Dirge of Cerberus. Like, if he's awake now, that's what, 2 years? Advent Children takes place a year after 7, and Dirge takes place, what, 2 years, I think? So if he doesn't wake up for 2.5 years after the events of Final Fantasy VII, and he's waking up now, it's going to be a way different character, because he's not been in stasis for that long. Yeah, man, yeah. It's all in that look. It's all in that look. Hang on, I know I've got that video somewhere. Let me see if I can dig this up for you all real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Possibly, maybe. Let's see. Donk. Remake. No. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, here, let me pull it up real quick for you all. Hey, give me just a moment. I apologize. Yeah, here we go. We'll switch it up. Let's see. Content. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So this right here. Make sure I don't have a bunch of different audios playing here. So this right here is the end of the game, right? Right, chia. I want to play the Dragon Quest game. I want to. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to. See, this right here is where Aerith's taking Sephiroth to task, and she's telling everybody to stay away from Sephiroth because there's something wrong with him. And she understands that this is not. She understands that there is something wrong with him. This is not how things are supposed to be right now. And let's see here. Okay, so right here we're getting all the Zack stuff. Right here, the Shinra soldiers. Now, here's the big thing to remember. Like, when the planet or the Whispers are wanting to stop someone from doing something, they stop them directly. Like, they're not gonna grab a chandelier that's about to fall on you. They're gonna move you out of the way of the chandelier. You see what I'm saying? Or if they want you to get hit by a sword, they're not gonna move the sword at you. They're gonna move you into the way of the sword. So, right here we see the Whispers affecting the soldiers. They're among the soldiers. They are messing with the soldiers. They're going to make it so that the soldiers aren't as effective against Zack, that he whoops all their asses. That's what's going on in this scene right here. So we get that. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, so here we go. This is the spot. This is the spot right here. This is the spot. So right here, we see Aerith. She's like, oh my god, what did I just see? And she looks right at Sephiroth. And he's like, mm-hmm. He just showed her that. He just showed that to her. And now he's like, now come get me. Everyone just saw that. Now he's like, now come get me. Now come get me. That's exactly what's going on right there. Holy shit. Let's see. Holy shit. That's what's up, man. The white feather. Well, when it gets in all that stuff, yeah, I think a white feather in most lore represents purity and hope. So it may not be talking about anybody, any person in general. It might be talking about the idea of hope in the darkness. Because everything in Final Fantasy VII, when you see the black feathers, it's your ass, right? When you see the black feathers, it's your ass. When you see a white feather, there's hope. And when it showed the white feather, it showed Zack and Cloud. It's symbolism. It's symbolism, you know? Like, in Christianity, demons are black wings and angels are white wings. So as much black feather stuff as we saw in Remake, they opened that one with a white feather to show hope. So, and that hope is Zack surviving. That is the hope. Could be, but I don't want to see Cloud have wings. I like the fact that Cloud is, well, he's augmented, of course, but I like the thought that Cloud is a dude who goes toe to toe with a god, basically, in Sephiroth. Make no mistake, Sephiroth is a god at the end of Final Fantasy VII, so they're about to up the ante and make him something bigger. He's about to be something much bigger, and I'm here for it. I'm ready to eat. We're about to eat good. I'm really excited. I'm not hype training you all into thinking this is going to be at Summer Games Fest. I hope it is. I hope it is. But if it's not, I just try to keep people prepared so they don't go on Twitter tirades and raise their blood pressure for a week. I just try to keep it simple math around here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what they'll do with Zack. Like, he says he wants those wings too, but I think whether you got white wings or black wings, it's still an abomination. Look what happened to Angeal, you know? You're still an abomination. It's still a genetic defect, a result of what's going on with the soldier program. So, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I can't. Well, yeah, it's hard to wait. It's hard to wait, man. Well, yeah. I mean, there's absolutely from chapter 2 in Remake, you can tell something's different about Cloud because he remembers killing Sephiroth. In OG7, he didn't remember that. Remember when he tells the Calm story? It like shows them getting ready to have their showdown. It goes back and forth and it fades out. And then Barrett's like, well, what happened next? And Cloud goes, to be honest, I can't remember. It all kind of goes fuzzy after that. He didn't remember killing Sephiroth. He didn't remember any of that until after his psyche was pieced back together in the live stream. And then Tifa got him out. He didn't remember it until then, at that moment. So he remembers things that weren't there before. And one thought I've had about that is that, you know, the planet can commune with people of ancient dissension. God, My words aren't working today. It can commune with people who are descended from the ancients, right? So what if Cloud has a little bit of Cetra DNA in him, right? It's possible. We don't know who his dad was. I don't think he's an immaculate conception from the live stream, which it could be. That'd be a NSFW scene, right? But I think either Cloud might be descended, or just the planet has been trying to commune with him the whole time. And those little zaps he gets when he has memories and stuff like that, I think that's the planet trying to communicate with him. I do believe that's the planet trying to communicate when he has those headaches. And then, because at the end of the game, you see all those visions he's seeing get wiped away as they're in the singularity. Like, okay, this isn't going to happen anymore. Okay, this has been undone. This has been unmade. All this stuff is being unmade. Meteor in the sky, it's all being unmade, you know? And then when they get out of the singularity, it's a clean slate. Clean slate. So yeah, there's been something different about Cloud from the jump. And a lot of people caught it. Like, I saw some people's reactions as they were playing the game or whatever, and it was the same as mine in Chapter 2. I was like, wait, hold up. Did he just say, I killed you? He shouldn't know that. What? You know, so from early on in the game, I was like, oh shit, what is going on? They're changing some stuff. Yeah, the thing I think is fascinating about it is that you have Final Fantasy VII OG, which you could say was the first time loop, right? That was the first time loop. And then everything after that has been the planet trying to make everything match that first time around. Make sure everything stays on that constant cycle. Yeah. The CG sequence from Advent Children, where he's laying her to rest at the Forgotten Capital. Yeah. Was it ever weird to anybody else that Cloud's standing in the water, and then when he lets her go, like right in front of him, she like sinks down into like the what is it, the trench in the Atlantic? Like, she's just sinking and sinking, and he was just standing there holding her. I always thought that was weird. I'm like, fix that. That's why you need to remake the game. You got to fix that scene right there. It's like, because Cloud's standing in 100-foot deep water right there. He needs to show him on a ledge or something. It's all canon. It's all canon. But Advent Children's been unmade now. They unmade that at the beginning of the Singularity when you fight the representations of Kadaj, Yazoo, and Laws. Dude, yes. I've done a couple of videos on Bugenhagen MO, and you can go back and find those on the channel. But basically, I think he's going to be one of the few people who knows there is fuckery afoot. There is something afoot in the universe. I think he's going to be one of the first ones that doesn't know to figure it out. And I think he's going to know something's different about Aerith and Sephiroth too. I would love for Sephiroth to visit Bugenhagen and have some dialogue. You know? Like, because Sephiroth doesn't know what to expect now. He's going to be like, look, this is chaos now. It's pure chaos, and like I am the harbinger of this chaos, you know? So we'll see. There's so many possibilities. Yeah, man, he's got some super accessories on his feet to be floating like that. He's got those little kid blow up floaties on his ankles, you know. It's like gotta maintain for this scene. gotta stay buoyant for this scene. No, I don't think it's the same Sephiroth from Advent Children. I know that's the popular theory, but I don't think it is. I think this is an omnipotent version of Sephiroth from the current timeline that they're in. And the previous time loop Sephiroths have been communing with him. I think that's what's going on. And they're keep in mind, there are different versions of Sephiroth in the game. Like, there's the Sephiroth that lives in Cloud's mind rent-free. There's the Sephiroth that's still in the Northern Crater. There's the Sephiroth clones that are kind of like, almost like they don't really talk, they don't really have much to say or do or anything like that. But then there's this other wild card Sephiroth running around. It's not time travel. It's nothing. It's something that's going to be answered in this game, but I don't think it's time travel. And the reason I don't think it's time travel is I give the writing team more credit than that. Time travel is such an easy sweep it under the rug explanation. Oh, travel through time. Travel through time and no, shut up, get out of here. I don't want that. You know, Chrono Trigger, yeah, time travel. Final Fantasy VIII, sure, time travel. Final Fantasy VII, no precedent for it. It's going to feel like they just threw it in there. So I'm giving the writing team more credit than that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is why they did it. This is why they did it, so people will be talking about it on live streams and chatting it up and, you know, hanging out and creating a camaraderie over it. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely why they did it. And they all but said it. They're like, well, we wanted people to think about what was happening. We didn't want to give you a one-for-one remake because then, you know what's going to happen. There's no surprises. There's nothing to talk about, you know. So kudos for them for pulling the ballsy move of doing what they did with Remake. Exactly, yeah. I mean, there's the negative life stream, right? That's always going to be there because of the presence of Jenova. And anywhere Jenova is, or her DNA or her essence is, Sephiroth is there as well. Sephiroth is in the live stream just as much as previous Aerith is. Previous Sephiroth's in the live stream, previous Aerith is in the live stream. The Sephiroth we see running around could be an S-clone. You know, it could be Zack. It could be Sephiroth taking over Zack's body. We don't know. We don't know. You know? Maybe that's why he's like, Cloud, I need you to get stronger. You know? I got your buddy. How horror movie would that be? How horrifying would that be if the big reveal was the Sephiroth who's running around that knows everything has taken over Zack's body? How horrifying. That would be straight up horror movie. And he's like, I'm getting you next, Cloud. You're the one I can hang out in forever. Zack holds up pretty good, but he's breaking down. I need you to get stronger so I can take you over. Hojo experimented on YouTube in the same exact fashion. He's almost holding up. I need you to get stronger so I can take you over, big boy. Wouldn't that be some horrifying shit? And like, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing, you know? Or the Sephiroth's like, I saved Zack so that I could take over Zack. And then I'm not even gonna try to explain that because I'm just coming off the cuff with that. Oh, it makes sense that Red 13 would know some more things because he's in tune with the planet. Sephiroth became his own writer. Yeah, absolutely. What's that Monty Python skit where in the Holy Grail was like, well, they got away because the animator who was animating the monster died. And then the monster disappears. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that would ruin him. Yeah, and that is what, you know, the Calamity, you know? Sephiroth really taking center stage as the Calamity, you know? That would be, yeah, man. Dude, what if the Sephiroth running around has taken over Zack's body? Like, because Zack, for all intents and purposes, we don't know if he was a G or S specimen. We know he was one of them, and so was Cloud. Cloud was an S specimen, right? But Hojo deemed him a failed experiment. Oh, I would hate it too, but that's what makes it compelling, you know? That would gut me if, you know, we find out, you know, Sephiroth peels away the illusion of himself to show Zack's pale face that has been taken over, and it comes back almost like Venom or something like that. I mean, that would be horrifying. Sephi Zack killing Aerith would be a nightmare. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Do you think Aerith and Sephiroth, see, I'm already thinking Sephiroth Zack now. Do you think Aerith and Sephiroth are going to have a moment together, sort of like mental chess, with how much each other know? Yes, absolutely. I think the Japanese actress for Aerith actually confirmed about a year or two ago that her and the actor playing Sephiroth had some scenes together. And everybody jumped to conclusions, of course, like they always do on Twitter. They're like, oh, they're doing the scene where Sephiroth kills Aerith. Oh, it's happening. And I was like, no, wouldn't it be cooler if they were like having some discussions, you know, talking about certain things, like taking each other to task on what's going on? That's more compelling to me than just one for one redoing Sephiroth killing Aerith, you know? What a waste. Yeah, Aerith's going to die. Yeah, Aerith is going to die. And I don't think it's going to be a self-sacrifice thing. I think it's going to be something that guts the audience. Like, we don't see it coming. Like, I think they're going to succeed in pulling off us not seeing it coming. I like what you did there, Zach Fair. Like your name, Zach Fair, is the one to kill her. No, it worked out perfectly, Zach. It worked out perfectly. I read your name and it says, is the one to kill her. No. I think once Cloud is up and around and himself again, I think Zach is going to be gone. I don't know. You know, Galdana, I don't know. I think there should be blood this time, because it doesn't make sense for somebody to get impaled through the chest with a cold piece of steel and no blood to be there. Of course, it was PS1, so you give them a pass. But at the end of Final Fantasy VII, you see blood all over Sephiroth's face before he dissolves. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I think I don't think he should fillet her or anything like that, but there should definitely be some blood, because blood is powerful. You see blood in a scene, you know, like the Surge stabbing Kid from Chrono Cross. That's powerful because there's blood dripping off the blade, and Kid just watched her good friend Surge just stab her in the gut. You know, it was powerful. The blood made it powerful. Man, oh, well, Mr. G, yeah, I hope not. I think one big change is enough, and then you're just trying to set things back where they need to be. You know what I mean? I think you do that, and then it's basically what the developers want. It's Final Fantasy VII randomized. So I think all that stuff, Remake, was how the developers were like, okay, this is how we're gonna mess up the board. Like if they're the dungeon master, they're trying to mess up the board for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's still, the stuff is still gonna happen, just with different timing or whatever. So I think that's their aim. I think that's the whole reason for all this. Yes. I think so. Here's the thing. The Sephiroth in Cloud's mind, who keeps coming to him and showed him his village burning in chapter 2 and passes by him when him and Barrett and Tifa are walking, puts his hand on his shoulder and says, I need you to become strong. Like, that Sephiroth is the Sephiroth that Cloud fights within himself at the end of 7 OG. When it's black and they're showing each other down, and then Cloud does Omni Slash. That is that Sephiroth that's always in Cloud's mind. It's always tethered to him. That's why, as long as Cloud is around, Sephiroth will be around. But I think there's going to be an ultimate end this time around, whether it's by Cloud dying or Cloud figuring out how to finally destroy Sephiroth's spirit essence, whatever you want to call it. There's the Sephiroth that you break out of his spiritual prison. There's the Sephiroth in Cloud's mind. There's the Sephiroth clones that are running around, right? So, yeah. And some people have confused the Sephiroth in Cloud's mind with the Sephiroth who opens the fissure at the end of the game. So there's that. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, but most important thing to keep in mind is the Sephiroth who is trying to lead Cloud and trying to make him stronger, that's in his mind. The one that only Cloud can see will be the final Sephiroth that Cloud has to fight one-on-one at the end of when it's all said and done. And they showed how much more powerful Sephiroth is now when, at the end of Remake, they did that scene when they were beyond time and space, and you could see the edge of creation, and they did the pa 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 pa, and like when they had their duel and everything, and Sephiroth was just one-handing him, like he was just handing him his ass, flung the sword away, and then he's like 7 seconds till the end. That's time enough for you, perhaps, but what are you gonna do with it? Let's see. You know, when he gives him that line, disappears. You know, in the original game, that was when Cloud beat Sephiroth. This is a much more powerful Sephiroth now. That scene will happen again, but next time, when it happens at the end of the story, Cloud will defeat him and spell the ultimate doom for him. Watashi Sephiroth, yes. Because there's a clear difference between the different Sephiroths that are on the physical plane, too. There are the ones that are obviously just, you know, failed test specimens that are inhabited by Sephiroth, right? The one that becomes Genova Dreamweaver and all of that kind of thing, you know, because they don't have much personality. When Sephiroth Prime shows up, he has personality. He's talking. He's the dude on the highway. You know, so, and the dude on the highway and the Sephiroth in Cloud's mind are, I feel like, the same Sephiroth, except the only difference is he has power over Cloud. Like, he can come to Cloud anytime he wants to. Oh, we'll definitely get more Genova. We're definitely going to get more Genova, that's for sure. Like, because in Midgar, you only encounter her once anyway. Well, alright everybody. I think that's going to be it for me for the night. I'm pretty tired. Shout out to Nine for all the amazing support tonight. I appreciate you, brother. Gifting 6 new subs or 6 new memberships and becoming a member yourself. I really appreciate that. That's above and beyond. If you want to support the work that I do, the things that I do, it's not even really work, I'm just having fun with you all, but the things that I do, feel free to become a channel member, feel free to become a Patreon supporter, and if you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the hell out of all of you all. And I am looking forward to whatever the next update is from the devs tomorrow. And as always, we will be on tomorrow night and we will talk more about it. So until then, y'all have a great night. 66. We averaged over 60 viewers tonight. Can't thank you all enough. It's been amazing. And until then, y'all have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. Uncle Ray loves you, baby. Don't you worry about it. I got you back. Don't you worry. I got you. And I'll catch you all later. Y'all have a great night. Take care.